should know by the way you parked your car sideways that it wouldn't last. See, you're the kind of person that believes in making out once, love them and leave them fast. I guess I must be dumb. She had a pocket full of horses, Trojan and some of them used. But it was Saturday night, I guess that makes it alright. You see, what have I got to lose? And honey, I said, little red Corvette, baby, you're much too fast. Little red Corvette, you need a love that's gonna last. Guess I should've closed my eyes when you drove me to the place where your horses run free.
Build a brand that grows your business. Let Bright Girl Media take the guesswork out of marketing your business. Our team is dedicated to helping you build a brand that is so powerful it woos your ideal clients. We offer custom website development, email marketing, social media marketing, and more. With membership subscriptions as low as $39 per month, we have solutions for every budget. Let's create a plan of action to make sure your business wins. Visit us at brightgirl.media to learn how we can empower you to reach your goals.
All right, y'all. We're back.
Hi.
We're back here. We're back live. And I thought I had y'all on mute, but I think we were talking, but it doesn't matter, whatever. We weren't talking about y'all, so y'all didn't hear nothing crazy. So I really wanted to talk to you because I saw you doing some things with Dallas Startup Week. And I had BJ here a couple weeks ago, and we talked about the whole Blerd thing. How did you get into tech? Now, we shifting from customer experience and all that to tech. How did you?
Look, it's a divine path that I did not ask for. And honestly, as a young girl, I grew up, I think, right in the sweet spot of when the internet came out. Mm-hmm. I was about probably like the 5th grade, 6th grade, somewhere around there. And so obviously I'm old. But
whatever.
I was in there when like they brought computers into our schools.
Uh-huh.
So that was about 5th grade. And we were playing games on the computers and stuff like that. And every piece of technology in my house, I used to be curious about how it worked. And I would take things apart and put them back together. Just because I'll be like, how does this do what it's doing? Like, I just wanted to know how things work. So that was just a natural curiosity of mine with the exposure of computers and, all that stuff. And it just led to me figuring out. So my mom, she used to work she was a secretary for this construction company. And she didn't even work there that long. But they went bankrupt and told her that she can have whatever she wanted out of there because they were leaving, the location. And, of course, she grabbed the computer. She did not know what it did. She knew nothing. She just, brought it home. Here go a computer. You know what to do with a computer? I'm like, oh, we got a computer like juice, And I just kept messing with it. And I wasn't afraid of the technology. I think, a lot of times older people be like, I don't want to hit nothing and mess something up.
Yeah.
And then I just would break stuff, and then fix it. I would take hours. I would be on that for hours because back then we had AOL.
Mm-hmm.
When that came out, yes. So that you're going to be on there all day. I used to get in trouble because you can't talk on the phone while you
Yeah. You turn up my phone line?
Yeah. So that's exactly how, I got started, and it just kind of gradually got there. So that HR guy that I was telling you about who got me the job at AT&T, this is when AT&T first dabbled in cable TV. Mm. So what that company ended up being is Comcast now, okay? But at the time, it was easy. Coax cable, tech support. Okay, is it tight? Is it not? Okay, recycle the box. It didn't take a lot to do tech support, But that led to the next job, which was the phone company. So I was the Pacific Bell is like the Southwestern Bell, the bells. So that company obviously went through AT&T Broadband, Pacific Bell, SBC Global, AT&T Uverse. It's kind of where it's at now. But when I was at the phone company, it was a little piece of paper that they put on our desk to tell us that they were hiring for the DSL tech support. I don't know what DSL is, but I was looking at the description. It was like computer tech support stuff. I was like, I know how to fix computers, So I'm like, I'm going to apply. I don't know what DSL is. And the internet wasn't really popping like that, so you got to go on Ask Jeeves or something and be like, what's DSL?
Not Ask Jeeves. I forgot all about old Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves, what is DSL? So I go into this interview, and it was like a group of us kind of going through this process. They give you this 10-question assessment. You go in and do an interview. And the assessment, I looked at it and I was like, I don't know what the heck any of this stuff is. The terminology, I didn't know because everything was just trial and error. I know how to do stuff, but I don't know what it's called.
Right.
I'm just doing stuff. So I put some random stuff on the paper. I didn't know what. I was literally guessing. And when I get in front of the lady, she's going to pull out my assessment, and I just put my hand on top of it before she could even look. I was like, don't look at that. I said, girl, don't look at that. I was so bold. This is a 20-year-old Aries. Okay,
Wow.
19, 20. And I was like, I don't know any of this vocabulary, but what I do know how to do is troubleshoot computers. And you said that you guys are going to be providing 3 weeks of training. I know how to do this. Like, I do this, do that. I just started selling myself to this lady. And she was a sister. And I was like, thank God, because she gave me a shot. She told me, because she ended up giving me the job. And when I saw her a couple weeks later in the break room, she was like, girl, I was like, this girl don't know what she talking about. But you were so confident, I just was like, I'm going to give her a shot just to see,
Wow.
how she does. And it's basically, that's how it all started.
See, and that just goes to show, sometimes we think we need to know everything.
Mm-mm.
And we don't apply ourselves, or we don't apply for certain jobs, or we don't put ourselves out there because, it's kind of vulnerable if you know that you don't know, right? Like,
Yes.
you don't know.
Right.
But that's a testament to, like, your confidence. Like,
And as women, I think we don't apply.
no.
If we
we
see a job,
feel like we need to know everything.
first of all, these job descriptions are not real. They don't expect you to know every single line on there. They're like requirements, whatever. They know they're not going to find nobody with all that. You're not.
And if they do, they got to pay you more than what they say they're
Exactly.
going to pay
You're
you.
not going to have it all. So we got to just be like, okay, what I do when I look now, I'm like, okay, let me get the core. What are the core qualifications that I need to know? If I have that, first of all, I know I'm an excellent problem solver based on the fact that I did technical support for most of my career, and that alone, kind of gave me my problem solving start, because you got to figure out root causes. I was a business analyst. That root cause analysis is like the key to your success, basically, in that field. So I'm like, you can bring me pretty much anything right now. I'm like, if it don't take a certification or license to do this job, I probably can figure it out. I don't know. I just feel like I could figure it out.
I like that, though. I like that, because I feel that same way. I always feel like, oh, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. I mean, I just do. It's just like
Because you really can. And when it's not pressure, you figure stuff out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the friend who, if people have a problem with something, whether I know it or not, they'll hit me up. Like, Aries, my phone is doing such and such. You know how to do this? I ain't never done no tech support for phones. But they know I'm like a geek like that, so I probably do know how to fix it. But that's just because I'm interested and I like to find stuff. I will waste hours just for the challenge of solving a problem. I could easily call somebody or Google it. But sometimes I'm like, I want to figure this thing out. Like, that's just something that's inside
and
of me.
some people won't even take the time to Google. That is
I
my.
know they don't.
That's my pet peeve. It's like, why are you asking me this when all I'm gonna do is Google it and figure it out?
Exactly.
Like, you could Google it.
Exactly. I'm going to send you this thing. My girlfriend sent, she has this thing where there's like a link you can send somebody when they ask you something that's Googleable. You send them the link, like you go in and type whatever they asked, and it'll it's like one of those little gifts where it's like, let me Google that for you. And then you go and it's showing you typing in the same exact thing.
I need that.
It's such a a-hole
need
type
that.
of thing, but it's
I
really
need that, though.
hilarious.
I need that though, because I swear I get like a ton of questions, and I'm like, but that just goes to show like we're both resourceful women.
Resourceful
you know what I'm saying?
is really key.
Yeah. You can do it as long as you're resourceful. Like you said, you can figure something out. You have that problem solving mentality.
That's really
That's what people are
is.
hiring, or that's what in business even. That's what people are looking for. They're looking for somebody to solve their problem.
And it just gets bigger, right? The problem is a bigger problem now. As you move up, it's going to be more strategic problem solving, right? So you're not necessarily in here on the computer doing the hard work. Now I got to, through my people, they bring something to me that's an issue. I got to figure out a different way to solve this problem with all the facts that you have and all that. Like, the problems just get larger.
Yeah. So tell me now. I know you did Dallas Startup Week. You did South by Southwest. What were those experiences like?
As a geek, you're like just excited to be in all those spaces. But this was my first year doing Dallas Startup Week. They had a Women of Innovation Summit, which was like a full day women speakers and just panels and all that stuff. So that was really probably my favorite part. It was just a bunch of workshops, and it's amazing how they coordinate all that stuff. Like, because there were different locations and all this stuff. But I'm very intentional with the type of stuff that I sign up to go to. I don't just go to every single thing. Like, I need to either, I'm going to listen to someone. Like, there might be someone that's going to be there that I want to meet, or a topic that I want to learn about. Like, I'm just intentional about how I spend my time. Mm-hmm. So, and I've been learning a lot more. Obviously, I started my own business in December, and I'm just learning about the startup world because it's very different from corporate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, corporate tech people are totally different from startup and venture capital. Like, there's a whole nother life over there that I'm trying to educate myself on right now, which is why I really wanted to be around that environment. So
gotcha. Mm-hmm. You want to tell us about your business, or is it you still?
Well, my business is really, it's just, I'm independent now. So I used to work for a couple of different consulting firms, and I felt like the environment, and this kind of gets into the Black women in tech type stuff. Mm-hmm. But for Black women in corporate, I just feel like it's not really set up for us
to win
at all.
It's not. And
we go through, my parents weren't in corporate America. They couldn't teach me how the game is played. It's a game being played. If you don't know the rules, you're gonna be stuck. Mm-hmm. Like, just getting from an analyst to a manager, that's a big jump. Getting from manager to, you know, like all these levels, it takes sponsorships and internal networking and all this stuff that we're not taught how to do. You just think, I'm gonna go to work, do my job,
do a great job.
I'm gonna kill it, you know, mm-hmm. and I'm gonna be rewarded for this.
No, you're not.
And it don't work like that. It's a whole nother experience. So anyway, that's basically how I, I went through a couple layoffs where I feel like I know why, because I didn't know the game. You know, it was just like this whole thing. So I was like, I write these contracts all the time. I'm negotiating these, I'm like working in these spaces. I got plenty of people that I've brought on a project that were their own business, where they were just 1099. We 1099 them, mm-hmm. and it's easy. I could do that. Well, I can't just do that for me, right? So that was basically the only reason why. It wasn't because I was like, I'm about to start this big old company, and we're going to have all these people. It wasn't even like tech startup stuff. It wasn't none of that. It was just like, I need a way to fund my life independently, on my own terms. It's a gig economy. Shout out to Craig Lewis with Gig Wage, because he just be overloading the internet with, with all that stuff. So freelancers that's where what we're doing. Like, that's what we're doing now. So I'm like, I'm just going to be in charge of my own thing.
Yeah.
That's basically
That's empowering. I mean, I've been there. When I moved here to Dallas 7 years ago, and within 2 weeks I had a job, and it was great, and I loved it. I was doing, what I really went to school for, which is video production. So I was working with Samsung. They were the client that I was working with. And so this was when, like, I think the Galaxy 3 was out. Like, yeah.
I don't know nothing about that. I'm Apple. I'm Team Apple, so I don't know nothing about the
Galaxy. Whatever. So I was doing, like, their commercial video and all of that, and I was having a fun time, loving it. And then my contract came to an end. Like, it didn't switch over. You contract to hire, and my contract didn't flip over.
I used to hate having those conversations, because I usually was the one saying, okay, so they did not extend.
Yep.
And here's your last.
Yep.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, I can't put my destiny in somebody else's hands. When I know I have these gifts, these talents, like, I can do this myself. So that's how I ended up starting my business. And I think that's how a lot of us, and why so many of us, like you said, corporate America really is not. It's not set up. It's not set up for us to win.
Black women are the number one entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Like, we have the most businesses,
and it's by necessity,
because we just kind of are forced out at a certain point.
Yeah.
If you don't have that education, which I think if you have the education on what this game is, you can be successful. Because women in general, we have a whole bunch of political pitfalls that we fall into because we don't speak man. We don't speak white if you're black. You know, like if you don't know how that, it's just a whole different world. And I feel like black women have to conform the most.
Yep.
To something that's way different from our regular life. How we roll. You know, black women we over the top with our stuff in a good way. That's why
and that's why we're magical.
Exactly. We coming in there. You know, I did a panel last week for the Innotech conference, and I had a panel of black women, all in the tech space at different places, but more corporate. And I literally prepared for 5 months for this panel because it was all black, first all black panel that they had at this women's summit. And I was in charge of the programming for the whole, for the day. And that panel in particular, I felt like I want this can't fail. Like, I need this to go well.
Yeah.
Trying to explain our issues, to people who aren't necessarily used to having this kind of conversation. So, very touchy, and it went excellent. But one of the ladies on the panel said, you want to come into work with your Black Girl Magic, but you need to be given excellent. Your work better be excellent. And that's just, we've been taught that forever. Yeah. You got to work harder.
Twice as hard.
And better.
Yeah.
So you better kill that thing. And then you got to know how to still hit that politics,
Right,
I mean, that was actually my major in college was politics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, political science was my major, and then I went back to school and got an MBA because I was like, well, I want to be a manager. That was the only reason why I got an MBA. I want to be a manager. I wouldn't even think about VP, CEOs, and all that. I just wanted to be somebody who was telling people what to do. I didn't want to get
I would tell everybody else.
So I'm going to go pay. I'm still paying for that.
Yeah.
If I would have known.
Let me tell you. I don't want to get off into the education system and how it's a trap. I'm not going to tell nobody that. I hope ain't nobody that's in high school watching.
Get a certification.
Ooh,
Never mind.
I don't want to talk about it
But go
because
to
these
school.
student loans
Education
are
is key.
full. and I ain't found a job yet that pay me to pay them student loans back.
Lord,
Help.
I'm waiting on a miracle.
For real.
Somebody
like
that
supernatural debt
hacked
cancellation. that's what I'm thinking on.
Hacker alert.
That too. Like, and that's another thing. All these people hacking into my, I get these alerts. And it's like, you've been in a security breach. I'm like, why they ain't going to Nailnet and hacking it?
I know, y'all hacking the wrong stuff.
Y'all hacking the wrong
Come on.
stuff, man. Like,
I know.
So, anyway, that's funny. I want to thank you for coming on, though.
I'm so glad this was fun.
You're on the other side.
I know.
You get a chance to be on the other side of the mic.
Yay.
So tell people how to find you, how to connect with you,
how to find me, how to connect with me. So the podcast. Oh, and by the way, if you go to scratchingandsurviving.com, Miss Chanel here is actually the one who did my website. So people who ask me about my website, and I get so many compliments on my website. I'm like, I look real professional right now.
Good. Yay, that makes me smile.
So she did my website. So hit her up to get your websites done. So that's where I kind of house the podcast. The podcast is on all the platforms, iTunes, Google Play Music. I mean, they're not really trying to let y'all live your best lives in these podcast world. So, but I keep it on the podcast and Apple Music, all the other Spotify, all that stuff. Also, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm there. I'm probably more active on LinkedIn than a lot of these other pages that I have,
Same.
Social media wise. So I really enjoy that because I feel like it's more purposeful and intentional, and that's where you can really do the networking. That I'm not just out here trying to be an influencer or Instagram, model.
Right. I'm trying to
really build something and really get the word out about the needs that we have right now, especially in technology and getting girls in STEM and just underrepresented communities in STEM. So pretty much at Scratching and Surviving on Instagram, at Aries WW on Instagram is my personal page. And that's about it, I think.
All right. Well, thank you for joining me. Y'all know where to find me. I am at Bright Girl Media on everything. And then brightgirl.media. I want y'all to go to my website. So listen, I have been helping business owners with their Facebook ads. because y'all been struggling. It's just real. People have been struggling, and they're like, I don't know why my Facebook ads, I'm spending all this money, and I'm not getting. Let me help you. So if that's you, and you've been throwing your money down the drain, and you have not been getting a return on your investment, I have a Demystifying Facebook Ads webinar. And you can go and you can sign up. It's free. As soon as you click the link, you're going to be able to watch the video and get all the information. And you get a free download of a workbook that is like power packed. And by the time you finish, you'll probably be able to take over my job. Maybe not. Hopefully not. I hope I didn't give y'all that much value. But I want to give y'all value, but not that much value. But make sure you go online, sign up for it, get on my mailing list. I send out some amazing emails, y'all. I don't toot my own horn a lot, but beep, because my emails, if y'all open them, y'all get nuggets weekly. So subscribe, get on my list, and stay connected. And I'll be back next week, Friday at 4. And I'm about to play some Prince to get us up out of here because I told y'all, rest in peace to my uncle. Gotta love him.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life, it means forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one, Doctor, everything will be alright.